Well, it is Friday and the weekend is almost here. It's a very, very busy weekend for me and my family. I'll spending most of it at a hockey rink, taking my son to several hockey games this weekend, and that will take up the majority of it. But it will always be a very busy time for our law firm, and we will continue to answer our calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey. It is Friday. We did come out with our weekly e-update. We found out over 3,000 of our current and former clients in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. There was an article on there that was in my recent blog regarding smartphones and technology, and while parents especially need to be mindful of how their kids are using those devices, young adults and teens, I believe we'll be seeing more and more of criminal charges involving these young people because these phones are being used for all sorts of reasons, and parents really need to be mindful of that, especially with sites like TikTok. I think it's an awful, awful website and an awful forum, especially for kids. It can lead to some pretty serious consequences, and I don't believe that any kid should be posting anything on social media, even YouTube videos. I am firmly against it. I'm not firmly against kids having phones, but even that, I think the parent needs to seriously evaluate what type of device that they're giving to their child and really make the child aware of the consequences of using that device in the wrong manner. So that blog article that I came out with details a criminal offense that I believe that we'll be seeing more and more of, the dissemination of photographs or images, imminent photographs, and potentially, this sounds crazy, but child pornography charges. And that type of charge is a felony offense in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It can happen. I tell parents all the time, the intent of the sender is irrelevant for the purposes of those charges. Intent becomes relevant for actually less serious charges like stalking and terroristic threats. But and even those charges in some cases can be graded as felony offenses. So please read that article, check it out. In addition, I'll be coming out with another article on the Gabby Petito case regarding domestic violence, and specifically the domestic violence laws in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. They are very similar to the laws in Utah, which is where she and her former fiance, who is now considered the potential suspect in the case. And there's a question of whether or not police should have arrested him when they had the reports of domestic violence. Domestic violence laws in Pennsylvania and New Jersey allow police officers like Utah to arrest without an arrest warrant for what would be considered a misdemeanor offense. So if the officer has evidence to believe that domestic violence was committed, either through actually observing it, some type of physical injury, or corroborating evidence, he or she can make that arrest. A lot of legal experts have said that the police officer who did the traffic stop should have arrested Brian Landry right there, and that wasn't done. But I hate to make that leap because a lot of things could have happened. We weren't there, and I would never put that on the officer. So once again, if you have questions about any of this, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey. It is the weekend. Please don't drink and drive. If you are stopped for suspicion of DUI, do not refuse the chemical test. Be cooperative with the officer, but do not give consent to search your vehicle or your person, but do not refuse that chemical test. But do not give the officer any other information besides your license or registration. That will not help your case. If you have questions, please give us a call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have a great Friday, a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all very soon.